Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is JT with Legacy Art Games, and we are back. And yes, at long last, finally, I've been talking about it forever. Finally, at long last, we are going to play some Stonehearth. And this is one of my favorite games. This is a game that I chill out to when I need to chill out, you know? It's just one of those games that's no stress. You can just lose yourself in it creatively and so on. One moment. Sorry about that. But as I was saying, it's really just one of those games that you can lose yourself in, and it's a colony builder, I suppose you would say. Um, Very much reminiscent of something like RimWorld, except a whole lot less grim, which, frankly, I found very refreshing. This There is nothing offensive in this game. It's wonderful. It's different, so I dig it. And one thing I really like is that everything in this game, and I know it's a voxel style graphics game, so that may not be for everyone, but everything in this game, every building, every block of every building can be taken away or added to. And I don't mean it in the Minecraft sense where, you go mine a block and then you bring it back and you put it down. You can design blueprints for entire buildings and then have your hearthlings, which is our people, we call them hearthlings. They can be told, hey, here's a blueprint, go build this building. And it will serve whatever purpose you like. Maybe you want to role play with it, which is what I usually do, and make shops for each of your crafters. Maybe you want to make a house or just an eatery, a fortress, uh, walls for your borders. Anything is possible. But as you can see, we start out with. I've been doing a little bit of work here, but basically, you start out with a randomly designed world for your use. And there are different biomes and different, um, how to say, different cultures from which you can choose. And in our case, we have chosen a culture of Hearthling, which so happens to be very good at, farming the land, making the most of the natural world, uh, twice the use, half the waste, things like that. Uh, I've actually found it challenging so far, even though it's so obviously early in, because my ordinary game, the one I play on my own time, is from a clan of Hearthlings who is good at making money. And it so turns out that if you're good at making money, well, being able to buy things makes a lot of problems go away. And it's not so easy here. But let's talk about what we have going on, shall we? While we do this little quick introduction. Um, right here, we have the hearth, and the hearth is important because it is actually it is our banner is slightly off center because I moved the hearth. Oops. Or actually, that's a little bit too close. We don't want it to catch fire, do we? Have someone move that. But yes, this is our hearth. This is the center of our civilization. Um, and we want to protect it at all costs. And here we have the wagon we arrived in. A lot of things will get stored here, but for sake of those of you who are familiar, yes, we have zones in this game which can serve various storage purposes, among other things. And we also have over here farming zones. And there we have invaders. Oops. You guys are poorly timed. Okay, so fighting. Put the town on alert mode. They will all go to the hearth. Unfortunately, we have only one guy who is a foot soldier, but they will all fight. Some of them will run away, but they will all fight. The daily update we'll get to in a second. Who are they fighting? Oh, Entlings. The little nuisances of the forest. Come on, Hearthlings, you can do it. Even though you guys are mostly workers and a farmer. One of you is a carpenter. You should be good at this. This raccoon here is a pet of someone's. It's not being helpful. Not at all. Oh, they've got it. This this is a victory. A small victory for the common folk. Okay. Now, small point. I'll pause to say this. Town alert mode is handy because a lot of Hearthlings are not going to be fighters. Most of them will not have fighting abilities. Not that you can't build a very strong military, but still. So when town alert mode is activated, they will all safely gather around the hearth. And that lets you get your military out there without worrying about the civilians. But once the fighting is over, make sure you deactivate town alert mode because they will stay at the hearth until they are actually starving to death. So I I've forgotten that from time to time. And as you can see, they have little coin icons over where the Entlings died. That's because the Entlings dropped loot. In this case, uh, well, enchanted dust and oak logs. Not surprisingly, they drop logs, and yeah, handy. But as you can see, we've got a well. We got our hearth. Somebody moved the banner over. Our banner is everything we are, so we protect it with our lives. This really cool monument, which is one of the reasons I kept this map. Um, I didn't build it. It was randomly generated. Is it not really cool? I think so. And I chose the name Sunlith because we built our culture around this monument, and that right here is solid gold. So it's our sun in Sunlith, the monolith of the sun. There you go. And we also have some cool ruins up here. So obviously, wherever we've been living is a very storied place. What we're sorry for stuttering. What we're going to do with these little gaps in the ground, I'm not quite sure yet. What else is going on? Well, we have been um, we have been chopping down trees. We need them in order for something very special, which is the building of shelter for our hearthlings. Uh, I'm going to show you guys how that works, which is actually very cool right now, actually, before something else attacks us. Let's go into design building. And as you can see, I've already started. You do have to pause here because the game keeps going while you're building, and it gets kind of bothersome to have to jump in and out. I started with a simple template that was available here for apartments, and I have added a door. But if you want, you don't have to use a template. You can do it from the foundation up. It's your choice. As for, I'm kind of thinking here, are they going to There's a foundation beneath the wall. Are they going to be able to walk in through the door and into the building? Because once you commit to a building, well, if it doesn't work out, if you design a flaw into it, you might have to demolish it. But we'll take a chance. And let's look at this. Let's think, do we want 2 floors to this place? For now, we'll think about the first floor. Our hearthlings are not going to live in luxury right now. They just need shelter. So let's go to walls. And let's move this. Can we? Oh yeah, we can. Um, oh yeah, split walls. That's why I think. Yep. And we would want to consider, well, even though this is not luxury living, how much space do we want to give the hearthlings? And why is it doing that? No, no, I don't want to work on those walls. Well, how can this... I think I see what it's doing. Okay. Hmm. How to fix that? Okay, I know what we're going to do. We are going to destroy that building. And we're going to start from scratch. So let's call this Founders Apartments. That will be the name of this blueprint. And we are going to want to, first of all, do a foundation, or rather a floor. And let's do as they were doing before. And we'll build 2 spaces away from the lake. I like to be symmetrical, if at all possible. But having it that small would be too much to ask, so we'll make it a little bigger than that. Okay. So there we have a floor. And now we're going to want to build our walls, getting the basics done here. And I'm sorry, by the way, you guys, that I have not, again, I'm sorry that I have not been streaming much lately, but it's life, man. It's rough lately. But I am doing my best. I think of you guys all the time, so I'm doing my best to get the streaming back on track. I keep clicking out of that. I don't mean to. Oh, right. I believe that's... Nope, that's not correct. But that's okay. We can just erase that wall. Oh, get out of the erase tool. Let's go this way. Do that wall. And as you can see, it's kind of doing a mixed pattern to the walls, just to give a little sense of these walls were built from different kinds of wood. Very cool feature. But you can change the patterns as you like. You can really build anything in this game. I've seen people build like map-wide palaces Gets pretty crazy. And we would want to put a roof on this, but before I do that, I have a tendency to forget this. We want to put a door in the building. It's helpful to have a way in. And if we do a second floor, we want to be very careful that the second floor connects to the second floor. It's so easy not to. Okay. Hmm. I'm thinking here, do I want a second floor or do I just want to work with this? Let's start our first apartments here, and then we'll worry about the second floor. Ah, why do you do this to me? I don't want the foundation. Ah, yes. We would have to do. Oy vey. I am out of practice. Shamefully, I have not been gaming so much as I should. Rooms, of course. So, like I said, the Hearthlings do not need, rooms which are that big. But that's a little too tall. Okay, let's undo that. Hmm. Now we could do this the cheap way, which is just to stack blocks, but no. We'll figure this out. There we go. I think. I think. Is it still okay? Okay. This leaves enough room for a stairway if we want it. So we'll divide it here. And then we'll do, yeah, I think we're going to need a second floor here. Um, hmm. I know that's not exactly even, but, oops. Okay, let's try that again. Maybe a little more even. Right now, shelter is important, so we need to get our Hearthlings into shelter. Okay, there's no way I could fit like just a basic bed into that room, or into the room if I, cut this in half. So someone lucky gets a bigger room than the others. And then again, doors. Don't forget your doors. Mm, like so, and like, it looks kind of off that way, doesn't it? But it is the pattern, so such as the way of things. We will decorate them with objects later. We can do that later. Um, Oops. I am glad I Glad I checked that. Like I said, you build a flaw, it becomes your problem once they build it. So check. Check everything. Whoops, hold on. Sorry, guys, had to take meds, and usually med time means bedtime, as the saying goes, but I'm going to keep going a little bit longer, at least until we finish this apartment building here, so you can see things happen. And I'm thinking about it, and I think we want some stairs for another floor. We're gonna need more room than this. Let's say like so. But we'll want to bring it up one. If it will let me. Come on. Come on, just go up one. You can do it. No? Oh, sure, it'll let me move it around, but not extend it. I had a problem with this before where I built stairs that did not actually reach the next floor. And so the hearthlings would climb ladders to the roof and climb in the incomplete roof, and then they became trapped in the building when other hearthlings completed the roof. Stairs perplex me. They perplex me. But anyway, roof. No. No, not a roof, actually. Let's do blocks and, hmm. Now, normally that is how I would start off a second floor, but as you can see, we don't have any gap for the stairs. And unfortunately, since we built it all at once, erases everything I did there. So, hmm, we may have to be a little more conservative about that. Build around it at first. Yeah. Mm, Here is where we would have to be careful. In fact, I will just go around here and leave it. But I still don't think it will reach. I think we're going to have to put some blocks in order to reach. Let's put some blocks back here behind these stairs. Almost there. Oh, but that's not going to quite work. Let's undo that last one. Oh, wait. Yeah, there you go. There. Now, that's not going to work either. Let's let's go down to the first floor. Get this. Move it a step forward. And then we will erase this and try that again. In fact, maybe even a bit further than that. Oh, that was unintended, so we'll just undo. And let's move it forward one step more. Okay. And now we will try. Because remember, this is going to be a wall, so you've got to leave room for them to actually come upstairs. So anyway, get back to the blocks. Just do it in ash blocks. It matches nicely enough. And that is oh, okay. All right, I know what I'll do. There. That way, we did not have to mess with the stairs any further. Hopefully they will be fine. And let's get another set of walls up. Same dimensions. You can get much, much fancier than this. We're just doing something very basic for purposes of showing off the system. And by the way, while I am doing this, I will get in the usual plug. Legacy Art Games is a good cause effort on my part to support chronically ill and disabled gamers by showcasing games which I think are affordable, accessible, and content rich for the dollar. And Stonehearth is very cheap. It is community supported at this point. The developers, due to various reasons, consider themselves done with the game, but they gave the code out to the community so that it can continue to develop the game as it pleases. And they do develop it very actively using the ACE mod, that is the Authorized Community Expansion mod, which you can get in the Steam Workshop. It's totally. It's great. It adds tons of stuff to the game, and the base game ain't bad. It's got lots of nice things in it. I don't like that looks a little too obvious, but well, maybe I can fix it up. There, that's at least a little. Well, no, because it's not following the pattern here. You see, that's the problem if you do a floor with one of these um, mixed patterns. It will just do stripes. But we can work on that later. We can make this more. We can give this more character later. Is a good word for it. But let's go down here. How many? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, we made those rooms 7 down. So um, we're going to repeat that pattern. And assume. Well, first we'll do the across. Oh, yes, it nicely does the walls for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and walls. And we just kind of, you know, fudged it as far as how big are the rooms. You do want them to be big enough that you can at least, you know, put a bed in them. And maybe some hearthlings will get nicer things one day, but these hearthlings are going to have to just deal with what they get. Let's see. And again, don't forget your doors. Don't forget to check where your doors are so that you don't build them above where the hearthlings can walk. And let's actually step back a couple here. I think this looks nicer. Well, I thought I could center it more, but I guess I can't. And I don't want to mess up the pattern. I don't know. All these other ones can be more or less centered, except for this one. Okay, these two at the ends will be the off-center ones that nag at me, but these ones will be nice and symmetrical. And that's going to be our second floor. Hopefully it works, and we are going to now finish off with the roof. Roof. And we'll make this a nice little roof. This is like a Bob Ross game. We're going to have a happy little roof. And yes, you can, in fact, have the roof overhang a bit. Which looks kind of nice, I think. Not quite so, you know, robotic. Only thing is we did not quite get things right here. Oh my. Let's see. I find the roofs a bit difficult because, well, of course, they're difficult to see around. I think that's right. Okay. And now we'll just do a little sprucing up, just a little bit. Like I said, this place is not fancy. But they will like it much more than living in the rainstorm you may be able to hear happening in game. We seem to get a lot of rain in this region, I'm noticing. Okay, we did some windows. And what else do we want? We actually cannot do that much because we don't have hearth. I keep wanting to call them halflings, D&D and me. We don't have many hearthlings in different professions yet, which I will show you in a second. Pretty much everything is going to have to be made out of lumber for the moment. The other necessity we're going to have beds. And when it calls it a mean bed, it doesn't mean it's a mean bed. It means it's the basic bed, you know? I would never put mean beds in the Hearthlings' rooms. They are cute, and I am a kind creator of the world. Let's follow a nice pattern. Oops. And let's go downstairs. That is not downstairs. This is downstairs. And do the same thing. I think the downstairs people got it a little better as far as the room size, but that's okay. As long as everyone has a roof over their heads, that's what counts. That's all we'll do for furniture right now because well, that window is a little without point. No, no, no. Okay. They'll just have two windows down here because that's all I need. Yeah, that's all we'll build right now for this. Let's show it in action now. This will get saved as a blueprint, so if we ever wanted to build another of these, if we didn't care that it was a clone, you know, and typically I try and make each building unique, because you know it's my role player at heart. I like to make different buildings for different people, and you know, just give character to our town. But we will go ahead and tell them to build it. And let's step out of builder mode. They will get to that. Where are they? Oh yes, the daily update. Every day you will get a check. Uh, do you have a certain amount of food? And do you have a certain amount of net worth? If you meet with both, then you will get offered another hearthling to join your population. And we did not meet with the net worth today. We are a humble people in Sunlith. Oh, right, I forgot. This merchant also arrived. We only have 14 coins, so we won't be shopping with them. But, just to describe, every so often a merchant will show up. There are all kinds of merchants, and this one happens to sell breakfast foods. It's very niche market for a traveling salesman, but that's what he sells, and good for him. And we can't afford any of it. None of it. It's not practical for us. In fact, very soon we'll be making our own vegetable stew, upon which we will be living for a very long time. But yeah, we can't afford to buy anything from this guy. Later on, you will develop the ability to build marketplace stalls, and you can use those to summon merchants instead of having to wait for them to randomly show up. And that can be very handy if you're in a bind, like you're in a food shortage, or you need some kind of furniture or material really badly and the environment is not providing it for you, those cases, merchants can save your behind. So they are nice to have visit and nice to be able to summon. And speaking of, we can sell things to him. But right now, all we really have is raw goods and construction material, and we need all of that. So, actually, I will sell them one chestnut seed. Why do I do that? Well, because he may then take that to another biome that does not have chestnut trees, and they will grow them. And then someone else will bring back chestnuts or something made from chestnuts with a merchant, and so on and so on. It's very cool that way. You can, in fact, teach other regions that don't have your local fauna or flora, rather, to grow your plants. So that's another cool thing you can do. And sorry, breakfast foods guy, no sales today. As you can see, oh, is she? This is a good time actually to look at character sheets. Whoops. Um, Sinini found her the hungry. Yes, at one point she was not. She was stuck under town watch mode, as I mentioned, and she got very hungry, and so she was given the title the Hungry. As things happen to your Hearthlings, or as they do things, they get titles which you can choose from and assign to them as you see fit. And I did not intentionally give her the name founder, but we will assume she is the founder of the village. Yeah. So we also have a few things to look at here. Health, obviously, it is just your standard Legend of Zelda Heart, even though you do have numerical hit points. She is a worker. Workers don't have levels, so she is not gaining any experience points for doing the work she's doing right now, which is just digging out the floor so that we can build the foundation. As you can see, she has a 3 in mind, a 4 in body, and a 6 in spirit. And those are your governing attributes, and each of them has sort of substats beneath. For example, mind also involves diligence and curiosity. Body is muscle, speed, and stamina. Spirit is courage, willpower, compassion, and inspiration. But to sum it up, really, mind is how smart you are, how how quickly do you learn, uh, how quickly do you gain experience, and how quickly do you do things like crafting that you're told to be doing. So curiosity represents your gains. Diligence represents how responsible you about doing your job. Body is for all the obvious. How strong are you? How fast are you? How durable are you? Um, and that lends a lot to combat, but also it will, for example, affect how fast someone moves just by nature. And spirit, finally, affects a lot of things. It affects whether you will stand your ground or flee in combat. It affects your, um, it sounds repetitive. It affects your effectiveness as a healer, And it also gives you a chance at becoming inspired. And when you're inspired, well, the next thing you do really, really well. You could make a really high quality item or something of that nature. And here we have things which are affect. Oh, well, actually, let me cover this first. She has traits. She has the heart of a crafter, which means that she will be happy if she becomes a crafter of some kind. Some hearthlings want to be a specific kind of crafter. Some are just happy being crafters of whatever. But she will be happier if we give her a crafting job, which we will as soon as we don't need workers so much. And she is also opinionated. So she will not be shy about sharing her opinions with other hearthlings, which might offend those hearthlings. So traits can be good, traits can be bad. Uh, and you see down here we have positive and negative mood modifiers, and well, she's not in good shape actually. Um, this one is going to last her a while. She feared for her life because she was in that little melee we had with the antlings. Um, but she's also happy because she sees or she hears distant thunder. Um, and she's glad that we're safe. But she's got all kinds of other things going on that are making her unhappy. Hopefully they are going to rest. And oh yes, he's the carpenter is hard at work building the beds and the windows for the apartment. We may in fact need more trees to do this. Oh, our carpenter has leveled up. And as you can see, when they level up, they do get some gains. Uh, they get this guy, for example, gets the trait collaborative insight, and the carpenter is now skillful enough to use master, or rather, materials created by other crafters. So, that basically is what it says. Uh, but also, you may have seen he gained health points. And leveling up is the way you gain health points in Stonehearth. That means that you could create some really powerful Hearthlings just by leveling them up in a job and then moving them to another job, leveling that one up, getting the health, and so on and so on. Every job has 6 levels, and it does actually take a while to get to level 6 depending on the job. Some are more difficult than others, but yeah, you can keep someone in a job their entire life, or you can just keep switching them up if you like. It's up to you. Just about everything in this game is up to you. As you can see, they're now building the floor. They had to dig out the ground for the foundation. I try and keep it back a bit so that you guys don't have to constantly listen to the waterfall. But I figured the Hearthlings would. Oh, it's morning. Hey, I figured the Hearthlings would thematically like it, living by the Sunlith, and right next to the hearth, no less. Oh, is that? I could have sworn that I just saw snowflakes, but I think I'm wrong. I hope. Because we're not ready. This is something you don't want to get in the habit of. I have two giant stockpiles here. And for a lot of you out there, your computers will not be powerful enough to sustain these stockpiles. They do take up quite a bit of processing power. Instead, what you're going to want to do is have your crafters build containers. And then the Hearthlings will put items in the appropriate containers. You can decide which container holds what items on a container by container basis. So that's a good way of keeping your stockpiles down. Unfortunately, at this early stage in the game, we need the containers. Or rather, we need the stockpiles, but we will get to the containers. I think we have all of our beds and windows. We've just got to. I know I'm seeing. Oh, I know what it is. Rain, I think, is hitting the ground. We can't see it. Daily update. Hey, we can get a settler. Autumn Nelvin. Tell me about you, Autumn. Ooh, you're smart. You have actually very nice stats. You're a glutton, which means you're going to eat us out of house and home, but lucky for us, we're excellent farmers. And you're always optimistic, which is really good because I'm a really awful, unskilled leader. It's good that you're optimistic, but you're very smart, which means, and you've got a good spirit. So I'm probably going to make you our first healer. Goodness knows we need one already. Let's go to the carpenter workbench and yeah, herbalist staff. Let's make one of those. Oh, he's still making doors, but after he's done making doors, he will get to the herbalist staff. Whenever you want to change a Hearthling's job, you need a key item. It's called a talisman. And the talisman will let them go over to the hearth and they will hold it up and magically become whatever job it is that you have chosen for them. And they will stay that job until you change it again. And of course, I should mention that when they change jobs, I did say that they keep the hit points, but they do not keep, at least as far as I'm aware, the bonuses of the job, like more specific to that job. They don't keep them. They just keep the hit points. But hey, that can mean a lot. In fact, I almost encourage you, unless you go for a high difficulty, to hold back a bit on securing your town, because it is very easy to build a how do I want to put it, a city which is too well defended. And we have a let's see what level are you now, our farmer? What level? Ooh, you are level 5. Wow, you are almost there. And the reason I look at that is because I'm thinking there are jobs, and as you can see, we can get a list of all the hard things, but this is the job tree. And lots of mods add jobs. In fact, I'm working on one myself. But we have this person in the farming job. We could make them a cook, a gardener, or if they also spent some time as a trapper up to level 2, they could then become a shepherd, combining their knowledge as a trapper and as a farmer. They could become a shepherd and take care of animals for us so that we can get wool and eggs and all those good things. And if necessary, food. But I don't like to do that. Come on. This is too happy a game. I don't want to go murdering our cute little animals. But no, for now, you're staying a farmer. You're the best you've got. As you can see, she will come out here and till the fields, replant as soon as she has finished with the prior crop. The workers will come out here and pull up crops, haul them back to the work site. This guy's on patrol. Oh, see, it's coming along nicely. But again, I may need some more trees. Let's harvest or gather and replant. If you gather and replant, then eventually, whatever you gathered, whatever kind of plant, will regrow. So you can be environmentally friendly if you so choose. But if you wanted to chop down that tree and then get rid of the trunk, it would be gone forever. You would have to plant a new tree with a seed in that spot to have another tree. But we will just peacefully watch what they're doing here for a moment. Oh, an explorer approached the town. What do they want? Hello, Sunlith. I am an explorer from far to the east who deals in various amounts of trade and collection. Recently, I found one Amberstone small frost feast present, and this is that is from a holiday event that the game currently has going on. We don't actually know the people of Amberstone yet, but they will become important later on. But anyway, he has one, and he found it just sitting next to the road. He's not sure who left it there, but they're quite helpful at cleaning up. I don't have much use for it myself, but a nearby village said that they're in need of 6 wooden window frames. I'll be relaxing nearby for 4 days. Would you be interested in a trade at that time? Well, I don't know. The present is only going to teach us a holiday recipe, which is nice, but we're kind of we need all of our lumber right now, so unfortunately I'll have to decline that explorer's offer. And while our hearthlings are working, I will also pop on screen to say hello and to prove, yes, like this, and to prove my continued existence. I am indeed still alive, my friends, and the mossy oak grove is here and well. Um, and once again, I was starting to talk about it earlier, but since we're getting to the close of the stream, I will go ahead and say it now. Legacy Art Games, a good cause effort on my part to support chronically ill and disabled gamers by showcasing accessible, affordable, content rich games for the dollar. Um, and that is a very important thing for those of us. Thank you for reminding me, computer. It is bedtime, yes. It is an important thing for those of us who may be disabled. We don't have much money, so a purchase may be a game for an entire month, and it kind of, it's kind of lousy if you buy that game, you're stuck with it for a month, and you didn't like the game after 2 hours. So my goal is to just kind of share with that audience as well as with everyone. I love that I have a really diverse audience of people. It's not just the disabled and chronically ill, it's actually become quite a crowd. And I really enjoy having you guys watching the channel. Uh, that being said, uh, if you would be willing, whether you are watching on Twitch or you are watching the VOD, the Let's Play over on YouTube, if you would give me a follow, I would be very grateful. I do not get anything out of a follow except the channel is more noticeable and it makes me happy. It makes me better encouraged to continue doing this work, and it helps me to know that what I am doing is something that you guys enjoy. And it lets me know, hey, keep playing this game because they're really into it. They really enjoy this game. So, here comes the pitch that I never like to make, but I will make it because it is worthwhile. Um, Legacy art games cause being what it is. Sometimes there is the issue of finances. 99% of the time, developers are 100% happy with helping out the cause and throwing a key, sometimes even promotional keys my way. And in fact, many a developer has done that lately. I have so many games lined up to show you guys. And I will also be doing giveaways of keys during those streams. So keep an eye out for them. Hopefully, you will get a key to something that you find interesting. Or at least you will find a new game that you do find interesting. Um, but yes, sometimes developers don't want to work with us, and it's a game that I really, really think would be good for the channel. So that's when I ask for your help. Um, if you are able, and only if you are able, I don't want anyone contributing stuff they can't afford to contribute. But if you are able, I am very thankful for your subscription. And by subscribing to the Legacy Art Games channel, you contribute toward procuring new games for the channel. And in full interest, you also contribute toward, at least in part, my personal interest at this time. Um, my father has stage 4 cancer. My mother is a 3-time heart attack survivor, and I am physically disabled. Um, and Dad's cancer was kind of a surprise. He's doing well, he's up and going. He's all that, but uh, the way finances work around the house has decidedly changed from earlier on in the channel's existence. So if you can afford to subscribe, well, by all means, please do. I would really be grateful. You will get, I think we have 2 founder badges left. And if you subscribe and you nab that founder badge, you will be forever remembered in chat as one of the people who helped to migrate Legacy Art Games from YouTube, where it began, over to Twitch. And you will also get a channel badge and your emotes, which are the emotes of Mr. Wizard casting his most destructive spells. Thank you, Rooster. You ruined that dramatic moment. But yes, two founder badges left, but everybody gets a member badge and they get emotes. And and you get my gratitude if you choose to subscribe. I just love it when you guys do that. But a follow is still just as great. Thrilled to have you follow. So let's see how our Hearthlings are doing and get my ugly mug off the screen. They are they're coming along nicely. Although I just realized oh, okay, that's fine. I thought I'd used the wrong color for the walls. It's just things are kind of ghostly until they actually get built. I'll move up the speed here. Double the speed so that they will. Gosh, I hope they don't get trapped. Oh, we got our daily update. Ooh, another person. Wow, we doubled our value and then some. Hello. 253. You will be a good foot soldier. But for now, you can be a worker. And I think you are stuck there, aren't you? I'm going to have to fix that. These look like stepping stones, but they actually can't walk on them. We'll work on that later. Now, of course, normally you would be doing other things while they're building this stuff, but I just thought for our tutorial, I would show you around a little bit and I would show you a demonstration of my favorite part of the game, which is building stuff. And you can get so much more creative than this. I mean, in fact, I might show you my other game before we log off. Or maybe not, because it does take quite a while to load. Um, but yes, you can do all kinds of things with the building tool. It's really very impressive. If you decide to get Stonehearth, and it is very cheap for the amount of play you will get out of it on Steam, then I would strongly, strongly encourage you to get the ACE mod, ACE, and that is the Authorized Community Expansion mod. It adds so much to the game and fixes a lot of issues which were left unfixed when the developers had to move on. And as you can see, they're using scaffolding at points to climb, and that frightens me because they could get stuck up there. Oh man, now? Holy cow. Ooh my. I've never had an attack happen during building. I paused, but I. Hmm. I'm not sure what to do about this because if they pause after combat, what happens? Well, let's find out. Everybody to the hearth. You see, the farmer is cowering sometimes, while others are not. That's one of the effects of your spirit. And he got a title for killing enough of the forest monsters. Whoops, whoops. Oh yes, this was an earlier event when we chose our cultural uh, persuasion, which is we live off the land. A bird arrived earlier to give us that opportunity to choose, and now it is back. Congratulations on your founding. Your outpost has been entered into the registry. Consider yourselves official. Her Majesty's Outpost of Sunlith. There's a nice ring to it, I think. An inspirational banner design as well. All of us here are eager to hear of your success. As your outpost grows towards settlement status, you will start to attract new immigrants. Your hearth is only a spark of what it will one day become. I have faith that it will be a beacon seen all across the Ascendancy. In conclusion, take the time to consider what you consider most important, what you want the beacon to stand for. Prosperity, happiness, strength, so each is a noble purpose. Wishing you the best of luck, yours in the capital, Merburley hands. And P.S. A small gift for you from my personal garden. And he gave us frostnap flowers. Which is very nice of him, because we can't grow those. Okay, so after the fighting, they went over here to eat, I think. And now I think they're going back to work. So all may be well. This game does have Z levels, by the way. You can go up, you can go down, including underground, which we will be doing. We've got to mine for some metal and some clay and stuff like that. Oh, and in addition to the usual, I've been gone because I had a tooth pulled. Yeah, not fun. Not fun times. This is going a lot better so far. I say so far than the last time I tried to build an apartment with more than one story. You're almost there. Man, it rains a lot where we settled. My other village doesn't get nearly so much rain. A trader approaches your town. Hello, Sunlith. I'm just passing through, but I'd be willing to make a trade or two. If you're interested, or rather, if you're interested, if you make me 10 mean beds, I'll be back in 3 days and might be able to get you six stone serving kegs. No. No way. Not a fair deal, I think. Not a fair deal, I think. And they fell asleep on the roof. A little bit more, and you guys could have slept indoors. Okay. The structure, I think, is complete, so they're putting in the objects now. Doors, window frames, beds. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go to slice here and cut it down. Sorry about the jittery here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. But as you can see, they are putting the rooms together. Why this one can only be seen in that way, I don't know. But that is the entrance. It works. It's enough for me. And for your reference, you can assign specific beds to specific people. You can also assign them to travelers, and travelers will visit your village and stay there as a guest. And if they are kept comfortable and happy, then they will leave you a gift. And sometimes they can be very good gifts. So it's good to have a bed or two set aside for a traveler or two. And lastly, you can also have a bed for a medic patient. But, well, I suppose at first you would want to do this, but eventually, once you have the proper craftspeople, you'll be able to build a special bed for herbalists to tend to patients. And that's what I would reserve for medic patient, obviously. But if bed is what you have, then bed is what you reserve. So let's see here. Zed Joville the Stung. Yes, we had a bee's nest harvested, and I think he ticked off the bees. We need an herbalist in order to make a what do you call it? A box to put the nest in and get some honeycomb. And we didn't have one at that time. But anyway, Zed, you can be there. Since we may need you, Baxter, you can be there. Um, Sadidi, you can be there. And you get the point. Um, you can go up a level here so this doesn't look weird. Uh, it is it is not a complicated game. That is not to say it does not have complexity, but it is not a complicated game to learn and enjoy. And it's very chill, very fun. All of the darkness in other colony games lately, it ain't here. It really isn't. Um, and I appreciate that. I kind of had enough of it, you know. I couldn't do another RimWorld stream. I just couldn't. In life, the world is too dark right now. So I am streaming a happy colony builder. There you go. But anyway, we have our first apartment building done. Our hearthlings will be nice and sheltered, and now we can work on hopefully getting some storage done, getting some shops, getting some individual houses done. Normally, I will build housing attached to a shop so that the crafter can live where they work. Uh, that being said, I am way over time. Um, so, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, one last time, Legacy Art Games is a good cause effort supporting chronically ill and disabled gamers by showcasing games which are affordable, accessible, and content rich for the dollar. And we tend to not have many dollars. But I am here for all of you during these difficult times. The pandemic has made the world crazy, and I know sometimes you just want to watch something chill and relax. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We will be playing more Stonehearth, absolutely. And if you can afford it, well, I am deeply, deeply grateful for your subscriptions. You get that founder badge if you're one of the first two next subscribers. You get your member badge, you get your emotes, and you get my eternal gratitude. But if all you can do is follow, that's great. That's fine. I love follows. Follows help the channel get noticed, and they also help me stay encouraged about creating content and creating content specifically for this game. So, that being said, this has been JT with Legacy Art Games, and well, for me, I will wish you a good night, but whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night for you, I hope it is good. I hope that you stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy,